What's up, guys? So we're gonna do some upgrades today on the Jeep. As you saw in the title, it's an interior upgrade. I just, like, with my XJ, I really never spent the time upgrading the interior, and one of the main reasons I sold my XJ was I wanted more luxury features in a Jeep, and I couldn't really do that in my XJ because of the year. It was a 96. So it had the older interior, so the only thing I could really do was upgrade the seats, and that was pretty much it. And I really want to have some nicer features, and I really have never done upgrades to the inside of my Jeeps. I usually do all the outside stuff and don't care about the inside stuff. So today we are going to upgrade something on the inside. If some of you have owned a Wrangler, you know that the radio in these things are garbage, whether you have the non-touchscreen or the touchscreen. So I've already taken it apart because I have children, and last night they went to sleep. So I pulled the dash panel off because you have to, we'll get into it. I had to do some trimming to the dash panel, and I wanted to get as much of this stuff done while my kids were asleep so I can hang out with my kids today. So I've gotten just the dash out, and I got my wiring all put together. As you can see, I have this crappy touchscreen in here, and a lot of you may say that touchscreen works fine for me, and maybe it does. I had a 2015 Rubicon 4-door, and it had that touchscreen in it, and I used it for a few years, and it was like, it's awful. It's just awful. So today we're upgrading it. I got an Alpine i209 Restyle head unit, a 9-inch screen with CarPlay. Yes, it's probably a little more expensive than most of you would put in it, but I really wanted to, like I said, with this build, I don't want to skimp on anything. I want it to be the best of everything that I can do, and I'm super excited about all the upgrades that I'm doing to it, and I want it to be nice, and I want it to be comfortable, and I want to have those features in a newer vehicle, and that's why I bought a Wrangler. So that's why I'm doing these upgrades. So let's go ahead and take a look at this box. I can go ahead and open it for you, and we can kind of explain what it is and whatnot. Also, I did film everything last night of me putting it all together and doing the modifications and all that jazz. So let me see here. All right. So this is what I got. It is the Alpine i209 WRA Restyle head unit. So I guess it's a whole new dash panel essentially in the middle to make it have a bigger screen, and I've actually used some of these at my work, and I'm super happy with how fast they are. And I really want CarPlay. My wife's car has CarPlay, and every time I get in it, I'm like, God, I wish I had that in a Jeep. It'd be so much nicer. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the clips of me breaking everything down. And this isn't really a how-to, because there's actually, Alpine makes a really good install video on this. This is just gonna be me installing it, and then I'm gonna show you how it works and what it looks like. And we're gonna talk about future upgrades as well, because this obviously is the first step, because I've got so much stuff to do to this thing. I've got it all here, and I'm trying to get organized for every week to do one thing, and I'm booked for months. So even if you're not huge on interior upgrades or don't care about interior upgrades, this is just the first step of this build, while I'm waiting on other parts to come in, and also you know, building the axles and stuff that I'm doing is going to take a lot of time. So anyways, in the meantime, here's the clips. Let's go ahead and show them, and then I'm going to go ahead, and after those are all done, we can talk about it and I'll show you them. So let's do it. explain like what I did, because this isn't really an install video. This is just like me showing you guys what I'm doing and me building my Jeep. That's what this is all about. This is all about just like, I really don't want some of these things, like I'm gonna do a lot of how-tos and DIYs, but this is one of those things where there's like really good tutorials from this company. So I'm not really gonna do an in-depth install on it. I'm just gonna kind of, like I did, do what I just did and do a time lapse so you guys can kind of see what I did. But just real quick, I cut my dash panel right across this seam right here, and what that does is that allows for this to mount on there now, because this is the new 9-inch mount. And then I went ahead and wired all of my connections together. Well, I say wired. I connected all my connectors so I can get it completely ready to go ahead and install in there, so I can get myself organized. So now I can go ahead and run my mic and run my GPS antenna, and then after that, that's pretty much it. And then also I have my OBD2 connector that plugs in for like any check engine lights they show on the screen, and my TPMS and all that goes on here, and my door sensors and all. Anyways, so now I can just run those few things, and then at that point I'm ready to just plug this thing in and be done. Like, this is actually like a lot easier than I thought it would be. Reading the instructions, I was like, holy moly, I don't even know. This is gonna take a while, but didn't. So let's keep on rocking. Alright guys, I finished it. It took me, I don't know, like maybe 3.5 hours, concluding last night and today. Actually was a super straightforward setup. Like, if you watch the Alpine install video, it's like literally directly tells you exactly what to do. And everything kind of goes exactly how it's supposed to. But let me show you this. This is why I bought this Jeep, because I wanted to have like a lot nicer radio, interior. I wanted it to just be newer, and obviously I can't afford like a brand new JL, but I know this is like a more expensive radio, but because I'm, you know, doing this in a different way, like kind of trying to build the Jeep on tons 40s, make it nice on the inside, make it daily drivable, also make it like set up for overlanding, like all of those things. This is going to be an all-around vehicle. Like, I know, oh, 40s, it's not an overland vehicle. Well, a lot of people daily a Jeep with 40s, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you it, because this is like literally, after I used this a few times at work, I was like, yeah, gotta have it. So it's this right here. It's called the Alpine Restyle unit. It's got CarPlay, everything. So the touchscreen is just like lightning fast. It's got literally everything you can need. Navigation, which obviously I'm not going to be using, but let me turn it down so it doesn't blast you guys. So let me see here. So I've only used it a few times, but the few times that I have used it, here we go, CarPlay. Oh, my phone's locked. Where is it? So, like, it's just so fast. It's just so much better than the other one. And with having CarPlay, it just, like, literally makes the world of difference. And just, God, look at how nice that looks. Like a 9-inch touchscreen in a Wrangler, in a new, older Wrangler. Like, that's why I wanted this year. I wanted the new interior so I could put this in. And I actually was on the fence about this. I was like, I don't want to spend the money. But, you know, after having a 96 Cherokee, I literally was like, I gotta make this thing nice. With having my wife in here driving it, my kids, like, I want it to be nice. Now, I didn't upgrade the speakers yet, but I will be upgrading the speakers and putting in a rear view camera, probably a little further down the road. I just wanted to get this in because actually the radio that was in here when I bought it was like not installed correctly, so certain things weren't working the way they were supposed to be working. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna 86 it and just go to a new stereo. Like I said, I wasn't going to right away, but I'm happy that I did. Like, if you're on the fence about it, I know it's like a bigger expense for a radio, but this isn't like a typical double-din radio. It's like super fast, super nice, and I'm super excited about it. But let's talk about next week. So as I said, I have so many parts coming for this thing, and I'm trying to stay organized on what I'm doing. And me and my wife have been working together because she's like, this is like a huge build, you should try to organize it every single week. And so that's what I'm going to do. So this week I did the interior install. Next week I have some exterior upgrades that I'm going to be doing. They're like, I would say moderate upgrades, nothing crazy, but this thing is all going to be coming together like quick. So I'm really excited about you guys, you know, staying tuned. And you know, I've actually not had as much grief as I thought I would about this build, but I just want you guys to know that it's going to be a super sick build. It's going to be not a super long drawn out build. Like, we're talking, I'd like to have this thing totally done. Well, I say totally done, majority done the end of January to maybe into February a little bit. It's all dependent on, there's a few items that are going to hold me up. Let me focus. There's a few items that are holding me up on my front axles, on my front axle. So that could put us into February, but the rest of it I've already ordered. Everything's on its way. This thing's going to be awesome. And I am trying to do stuff a little different. I know that this is a Wrangler, so a lot of people do similar things, but just stick with me. And if you don't like this build, there'll be another builds down the road. But for now, I'm excited. This radio is badass, and if you guys have any questions about this install or anything like that, let me know. At our work, we've installed probably 5,000 of these units because like they're so popular. But if you have any questions, let me know. Like always, please like and subscribe. This build is going to be epic, and I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. So anyways, stay tuned for next week. Just like that, this episode's over. Peace.